here on Lamberto Bava Theme Week. I am your host, Mood616, and thank you once again for stopping in. Alrighty, so for day 2, I'm going to continue along with the Lamberto made-for-television films. Today's movie is the second one in the Bravado Giallo series that started in 1987, continued on into 1988, which there is 2 more from 1988. So, of course, this is the second film entitled Until Death. So this one stars actually David Brandon. He was in Stage Fright, actually, which is pretty cool. And Simon Boswell did the score for this film, which he did a really good job, and he did the score for Phenomena, so Dario Argento's Phenomena, which is really cool. Getting into the plot of this one, this movie starts out with the backstory of Linda and Carlo. They are lovers, and basically what they do in the beginning of the film is they kill Linda's husband, because they just got to get rid of him because they're in love. Linda is pregnant at the time, and it basically just starts off with them digging a hole and killing him and, burying him, and then it jumps to the present day, where Linda and Carlo now are running basically a restaurant that is, it's a restaurant on a little lake there, and it kind of houses like some it's kind of like a bed and breakfast kind of deal too. So now they're, just running this restaurant together. 6 years later, they have a 6-year-old boy. Linda has a 6-year-old boy. Carlo is pretending, I guess, to be like the stepfather or whatever. Everything's going all good. I guess 6 years prior, there was an investigating police officer into the disappearance of Linda's husband. And then all of a sudden, randomly one day, he starts kind of asking questions and just kind of being, a little more curious than he has been in like the previous years and stuff about her husband that just up and went missing. He just thought it was kind of interesting and, weird that he just kind of disappeared and never came back to see his kid or whatever. And of course, Carlo, her lover, he's getting a little paranoid about the whole thing, kind of freaking out a little bit, going, why is he asking questions right now? Carlo's a real fucking asshole too. But anyways, so, that kind of passes, and then one night, basically a hitchhiker kind of shows up at their house or at the restaurant or whatever, and he's looking for a room. They take him in, and he eventually just kind of becomes kind of like the grounds guy. He kind of helps out, becomes the new cook and stuff. He becomes the fix-it guy and stuff like that. Because he's just really just kind of hitching around and doing whatever, so they were looking for some help around the place. But then Carlo really fucking hates this guy. He can't stand the new help around there because he seems to know some details about, Linda's husband's disappearance and things that he probably shouldn't know. And it just seems weird to Carlo. So Carlo wants him dead, basically. I'll leave the plot right there. Actually, that was quite an extensive plot for being such a simple film. But yeah, so my thoughts on this one. First off, it's a made-for-television film, of course, so it's going to be a little light on, heavy, horror stuff, right? So I was a little surprised in this one. It does actually, it's dubbed in English, but there was actually quite a bit of language in here. I don't know if that was like in the original Italian language or whatever, but I was surprised to hear swearing in this one because yesterday's movie that I did, Graveyard Disturbance, didn't have any type of language in it, but yeah, Lamberto Bava, I think this is definitely a step up from Graveyard Disturbance. I thought that the story was actually pretty well done. By the end of the movie, it turns out to be, it's not predictable, but you can kind of see where it's going by the end. It was still very enjoyable, actually. Overall, it just, it's a pretty, not slow build-up, but it's slower until, basically an hour in the last, 45 minutes, it kind of picks up and kind of gets into it. I really do like the fact of, her son in the film. He's having, these nightmares and stuff, and he's dreaming about his dead father. and stuff like that. I thought those little dream sequences and shit were actually really well done by Lamberto Bava. You know, the atmosphere in the tone in the first hour of the film is kind of like very paranoid. It doesn't really feel that much like a TV movie. It actually feels like a legit movie. But like, you know, in the last 40 minutes of the film, it creates a really good atmosphere. Once it starts kind of getting into you know, where it's going with the film, I think he does a really good job once again capturing some really creepy scenes, really good atmosphere, and of course Simon Boswell's score really fucking helps out in this. Italian scores are so effective. You know, the Italian composers are so effective in these films. It just really does wonders for it. But yeah, you know, this one's definitely a step up from Graveyard Disturbance. It was actually very entertaining. There was a little bit of problems with the audio in this film, not with sync or anything. It was just kind of, I don't even know what exactly it was. I even have an audio engineering background too, but it's weird. It almost sounded like it was kind of like almost farting a little bit at times. I don't know. It was almost like a feedback farting sound. It was really weird at times. I don't understand how that made it into like the final product that Maya Communications put out, but you know, it wasn't overly distracting or anything. I thought it was whatever. It just kind of passed, but you know what? This movie was actually really entertaining. I really enjoyed it, and I thought the last 40 minutes was really worth watching the film. The lead in this movie, Giona Sciola, whatever, Linda's character, she is fucking beautiful in this movie. Very, very beautiful actress. I thought she did actually a pretty good job, in the film. So I don't really know what else to say about it. It was good though. Like, I mean, for a TV movie, going in right away, you're not going to see some crazy fucking, gore effects and crazy killings and stuff. But, honestly, the effects that they show later in the film were actually, they were decent. They were fine. For a TV film, that's pretty much what you expect. And, I was happy with it. It was decent. In fact, to rate this one, it's a little bit of a step up from Graveyard Disturbance. I gave that one 5.5, so I'd probably give this one, I think, a 6.5. I thought it was really fun, and once again, the score was just awesome. It was really good in the film. So, but yeah, that's Until Death. The second film in the Bravata Giallo series, made for television films. Yeah, so Until Death. I will be back with day 3 tomorrow, and I will be also doing the third film in the Bravata Giallo series, which came out in 1988, so just, a year after this one. So, but yeah, Until Death, I do recommend it, especially if you're really into Italian films, and you like, Lamberto Bava's, other films and stuff. Like I said, these films are a lot different than the work that you're probably more familiar with, but still very enjoyable. I mean, if you're hardcore into Italian stuff, definitely check this out. If you're not really big into it, I'd probably stay clear of it. Probably not your thing, but Until Death, I liked it. It was good. It was very fun. And, I didn't mention the transfer on this, but I have Communications doing pretty good transfers of these. These are, like, anamorphic widescreen transfers. Yeah, they look really good. Really fucking good, so, yeah. Just kind of a plus for that. But anyways, once again, I'm your host, Mood616. Thank you for joining me here for Lamberto Bava Theme Week. And I will be back tomorrow, like I said, with day 3. And peace out. Thanks for watching, homies.